great Odin's raven.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
This is ridiculous. Okay, I'll go.
Hello and welcome to the FilmPulse.net podcast, episode number 51. My name is Adam. Today I'm joined by Kevin. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing good.
Doing pretty good myself. This week we don't have any reviews or anything lined up, so we're just going to kind of go over some news. We also have a new Kickstarter project to highlight, and we also have an interview that we did with the director, Alex Myung. We'll be making our weekly movie predictions, and finally we'll be going over this week's DVD and Blu Ray releases. First, let's kick things off with some of what we've been watching. I think I'll start it off this week. Been going through a lot of these Spirit Awards nominees, trying to see as many of them as I can.
You getting indie out? Indied out?
I am getting indied out big time, sir. I don't know if I can handle another indie film, honestly. I'm just going to go through here. I started off with Celeste and Jesse Forever. I don't think I talked about that last week, did I?
No.
I was actually thinking that I was going to really like this movie, and I didn't. I didn't like it that much. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't bad. It was funny. There were a lot of funny moments, but overall, I just kind of felt like it was a little mediocre. I liked it more than something like Take This Waltz, but this is another one of these movies where the critics really adored this movie, just like Take This Waltz, but I didn't find it to be anything special.
This is by the same guy that directed The Vicious Kind.
Mm-hmm. Which I liked a lot. I liked The Vicious Kind a lot more than this. And then I saw I'm Not a Hipster. This is a movie that's currently playing on demand. Actually, I think it's still on demand, and it came out in theaters in select cities. I was kind of surprised with this one. I didn't know a whole lot about it other than it premiered at Sundance last year, and people were kind of talking about it. And I really liked it. It's about a struggling musician who's trying to cope with the loss of his mother, and it was pretty good. The name doesn't do it justice. I think that there might be some kind of misconception with the name of the film. Like, he really isn't a hipster in the movie. Like, he's not a hipster. And
So it's not really a hipster title where it's being ironic.
Right.
It's just legitimate. I'm not a hipster.
Yeah, like he kind of hates that whole scene. And the thing that's probably the best part about this is that the music is actually really good. And a lot of times with movies like this, the music's not great, but his music is actually quite good. So I would recommend checking that out. I saw, I think a couple of these you probably saw. Gimme the Loot.
Gimme the Loot. I did see Gimme the Loot.
So I really enjoyed Gimme the Loot. Again, I will reiterate that I have been cranking out indies left and right. So I think maybe I would have liked this more if I didn't see it during this time.
Yeah.
But I really like the premise. I love movies that take place in New York. I love movies that have kind of a hip-hop feel to them, especially when it comes to like graffiti or DJing or anything like that. And it was a lot lighter than I thought it would be. I thought they were going to go real dark with it.
That's what I was waiting for.
And it stays pretty light, which I found really refreshing. And that was the thing that I liked the most about it, is that it didn't get too heavy, because
I thought it ended perfectly.
Oh yeah, it did. So I would highly recommend that. It's a pretty simple film about two friends that are trying to gather up $500 so that they can pay this guy off to let him in to let them into City Stadium. City Field, sorry. And tag the Mets apple.
Home run apple.
The home run apple.
Now this is what won last year at South by Southwest, the competition award for Best Narrative Feature. That's what first got me pretty excited about this film. Plus, it's about graffiti and it's in New York. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But I have to say that it took me a while to get into it at first because I was pretty indied out when I started this, which is, not Gimme the Loot's fault. But like the first 20 minutes maybe, I was just like, oh, God, I don't want to do this. Because to me, the dialogue was at some points very taxing and tiresome. Mm-hmm. When they were just, rattling off and every other word's the F word, which I don't care about swearing, but it got a little tiresome after a while.
For me, that depends. It just kind of depends on the mood I'm in and how irritable I'm feeling. Like when I saw it, it didn't even faze me.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, Gimme the Loot was in the middle of my indie viewing. It wasn't the first film I saw, which probably would have gotten a better review or rating from me.
Right.
Unfortunately, it was in the middle.
Yeah. And I saw Return. This is another one that's nominated for Independent Spirit Award. I don't even know what it's nominated for, honestly.
I think Linda Cardellini's nominated.
Okay.
For her.
I mean, she did a good job. You probably know her best from Freaks and Geeks. And it also stars Michael Shannon, and he does a good job as well. Basically, the story is about a woman who returns home from, I believe, Afghanistan, although I'm not sure if they specify if it's Iraq or Afghanistan. She's in the National Guard, and it's kind of about her getting readjusted to civilian life. It's a story that I feel like we've seen a million times before. It's not particularly interesting. The characters are not that interesting, and I was not feeling this movie at all.
Not feeling it.
Nope. I saw How to Survive a Plague. This is the documentary about the AIDS epidemic. Mostly focuses on the height of the AIDS epidemic in the 80s and early 90s. Fascinating story. A lot of the stuff, I mean, growing up during that time, I knew a lot of what they went over, but the interesting thing was the amount of archival footage that they had. I mean, the entire movie is almost archival footage, and it's awesome. It's a must-see for everyone. I think that it's amazing that they have this much footage that they can archive and show to future generations so they can see. I mean, this is like the equivalent of having a documentary about the plague or something like that,
Yeah.
Where it's just everybody needs to see it and just see how horrible this was for anyone that was involved. So I highly recommend that. I believe that was nominated for that's nominated for Best Documentary at the Oscars, isn't it?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. And I don't think it's gonna win, but it has a good chance, I think. And then I saw a movie called It's a Disaster. The movie itself was, in fact, a disaster. It's this dark comedy about the end of the world, like we've seen so many times before. This is written and directed by Todd Berger, and it's with David Cross, America Ferrera, some other people in there, and I'm not going to get into it because it was not good. I did not like it at all.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's another thing I'm getting tired of. End of the world.
End of the world movies? Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We got 2 more this year, but I think they're going to be good, so.
Just go, stop. Come on with some original ideas, please.
Well, I hope. The Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost one sounds pretty original. And
I do have to say, I'm looking forward to the 2 more that we have.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be good. I think This Is the End has definite potential to be one of the best comedies to come out this year.
I hope so.
Then I saw 4. This is another movie that you also saw.
I did, in fact, see this movie.
This was wait, you talked about that last week, didn't you?
I think I did.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna rehash it. liked it, but I didn't love it. I didn't think that it added a lot to
Now,
anything.
see, this came at the beginning
Oh, yeah.
of my indie viewing.
Yeah, see,
So I think if I saw this movie near the tail end of my American indie, whatever the hell you want to call it, marathon, I probably would have disliked this a lot more.
yeah, see, I did see it at the tail end, and I was not that impressed with it. I did see War Witch, too. Oh, what a depressing week, let me tell you. War Witch was incredibly shot. It was a great movie. This is also nominated for an Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film from Canada, oddly enough. But really, really great story, great visuals, but it is extremely depressing. I mean, oh God, you just feel so awful the entire time you watch this. And it was a lot different than I thought it would be, because like she's a witch. So there's like this whole spiritual stuff that happens. Like there's some supernatural things that happen, which yeah, I didn't
know that.
Yeah, there's some definite, but they do it in a really good, tasteful way. Like it's good how they do it. And then I saw movie 43.
Oh,
That was my big theater.
I know. I'm surprised we're not doing a review for that. Like, shouldn't our show be based on movie 43?
If you saw it, we would.
I would never.
Well,
Are you fucking kidding me?
now that
Look at this.
I released my review, you should definitely not want to see it, because this is probably going to be one of the worst movies of the year, I think. It is a complete mess from start to finish. I don't understand. There's like 25 famous people in this movie.
The cast of this is ridiculous.
And it is so bad. Words can't describe how bad this movie is. I didn't think it was going to be great when I went into it, but it turned out to be so much worse. I mean, you can read my review. I think that I pretty adequately toured a new one. But this is the first 1 out of 10 I've given out for quite a while, I think. It's it's awful. It's not funny. There's nothing funny. It's the lowest of the low brow.
You mean John Hodgman as fake Penguin wasn't even funny?
No, that one was stupid. That segment. So basically, if you don't know, it's like 11. It's an anthology film. There's like 11 short films in it, and they're all tied together with this ridiculously dumb, like.
They actually tie them together?
Yeah. So no, but I mean, not really. It's sort of like, sort of like VHS or Tales from the Hood, where there's like these kind of bookends where the premise is Greg Kinnear plays a studio exec, and Dennis Quaid goes in to pitch him movie ideas, and that's what it is. Like but it's so poorly thrown together. Okay, so this is one of my favorite parts, and there were several parts in this movie where I wanted to get up and leave, but I didn't, because I knew I had to review it. If I didn't have to review this movie, I would have left. But you know how at the end of movies during the credits they play the gag reel, they play the bloopers. Yeah. So the credits come up, and I go to get up to leave, and then they play the bloopers. So I stay and I watch them, and then they start showing bloopers from a segment that wasn't even in the movie. And I was like, what is this? It was a segment with Elizabeth Banks and what's the guy's name from? He was in Transformers.
Shia LaBeouf?
No. The other guy.
John Turturro?
No. He was like one of the main soldier guys.
I don't like this game.
He was in
I'm failing.
He was in that show on NBC, Las Vegas.
Dumal?
Josh DeMille.
Yeah, Josh DeMille.
So there was a segment featuring the two of them that wasn't even in the movie, but they start showing bloopers from it in the credits, and I'm like, what? So then you wait, and then I waited until after the credits, then they played the segment.
What the fuck? What?
And I was like, why would you do that? That doesn't even make sense to me.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
And that's just one thing. I mean, they pull a Strange Wilderness, at the end of Strange Wilderness, how Ryan and I always complain about how they had no idea how to end it, so they just like pulled the cameras back so that you could see like the cast and the crew and stuff, and they just start laughing. Yeah, they do that in this movie.
Oh, that's
spoiler.
That's what I'm talking about. This movie sounds fucking awful.
And the thing about it is there's two people in this movie that are nominated for Best Actor awards this year. Actor and actress.
That's sad.
And it's like the segment with Halle Berry and Stephen Merchant, and the one with Chloe Moretz and Christopher Mintz-Plasse. What's his name? Christopher Mintz-Plasse?
Yeah, I think so.
Those two had potential, and some of the other ones also had potential when they started out, like the premise, but they inevitably, at some point during the segment, would just take a turn and go straight to the gross out stuff.
Awesome.
And I'm not offended by gross out humor or anything like that, but it just wasn't funny. Like, watching Halle Berry dip her boob in guacamole is not funny.
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
And there's a lot of shit jokes, too. A lot of shitting.
Those are my favorite.
You get to see Chris Pratt get hit by a car and explode diarrhea all over the windshield.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, I could go through every segment and you just be like, what? What?
Oh, God.
It's horrible.
Sounds great.
Please do not go see it. It's like a scary movie. It's like one of those, only with big name celebrities in it.
How the hell did they get people into this?
I have no idea. The only thing I can think of...
It's got to be blackmail.
The only thing I can think of is blackmail, or they called, like, Peter Farrelly called up these people and said, hey, look, I'll give you like 20 grand. It'll take an hour to do this. That's it.
Let's do it.
But it's a colossal...
I mean, if someone came up to me with that proposition, I would be in movie 43 as well.
Oh, yeah. I don't look down on any of the actors that are in it. I don't think anything less of them for being in it. It's just I wish
they didn't do it.
I'm sure that they're all like, oh God, because I mean it's really like Hugh Jackman, Les Miserables, Best Actor. He's in
movie 43.
He's in a segment where he has a pair of testicles on his throat, growing out of his throat.
Oh, okay.
Full scrotum with like hair and everything.
Wow. That's clever. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Wow.
Moving on. This sounds terrible.
Moving on. Also saw Robot and Frank. This is another one that you saw.
I saw Robot and Frank.
I like this.
Correct.
I like this a lot.
I enjoyed it. It was a bit too familiar. Because it's essentially the exactly same movie as Lovely Still, but with a robot. Now, the robot was awesome, and I want it. I want that robot. How do we go about getting one of those?
I don't know.
I want that damn robot.
I like the subtle use of technology in this movie. Like, it was sort of like, it reminded me of like in Looper, where it was there, but it wasn't like a big central part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like the way that they shot it made it look like, hey, it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, I have a clear cell phone that looks cool. Or like, yeah, like my TV is really fancy and it's like projected on the wall and all that stuff. Like, I like it when movies do that because in the future, that's how it would be. Like, yeah, that would just be another appliance. It wouldn't be something crazy that would need to be showcased every 2 seconds.
Correct.
And I also like how it's not super space aged. Like this is all technology that is within our grasp.
Yeah, for the most part, is it like the car in the beginning? Mm-hmm. When Frank's walking down, you can buy that car. That car exists. It's just, it looks insane when you see it. You're like, oh, future car. I was surprised that you can actually own that car.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed this movie. It was kind of light.
I think I would have enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I haven't seen Lovely Still.
Yeah, see, I haven't. So.
Like, if I haven't seen that movie, I would have loved this. But as soon as they did, like, the big reveal, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is the same damn movie. You just added a robot.
I predicted the reveal. Not at the beginning, but, like, 3/4.
It was in my head. I was like, I hope they don't do that. And then they did it.
I didn't mind that they did it, though.
But I have to say that the addition of the robot makes up for that. Because the robot is fantastic. And
I even liked
that damn robot.
I even liked Susan Sarandon's little helper bot.
Yes, Mr. Darcy was awesome.
Yeah, how she put a little bow tie on him.
I love the fact that they didn't know how to have a conversation with each other.
Yes, I always... movies like this are always interesting to me when there can be a character that's a robot, and yet you feel emotion for that character.
Yes.
You know, and that's like a big part of this movie as well, how Frank was not giving that thing the time of day and just treating it like an appliance, and then eventually he forms this bond with it.
They're like best friends.
Yeah.
But it did make you realize that Frank's sort of a dick. Because, I mean, he could have easily had that relationship with his kids, and he didn't.
Yeah, that's
Damn
true.
you, Frank.
That's
Damn
true.
you. But
Well,
I mean, to be in his corner a little bit, the robot was cooler than James Marsden.
Oh,
Like, if I could pick who my son would be, I would pick the robot.
actually, that reminds me. I thought that Liv Tyler's character was extremely annoying.
Yes.
Like, I thought she was doing like a weird voice the whole time, and it really bothered me.
I'm not a huge fan of Liv Tyler.
I'm not a huge fan, but she really annoyed me in this. Fortunately, she's not in the movie a whole lot, so it didn't bother me that much. Moving on, I also saw a movie called The Mother of Tears. This is the third film in the... I think it's called the Mother Trilogy. I think it's called like the Mother Trilogy or something. Three Mothers Trilogy.
Yeah, Three Mothers Trilogy.
By Dario Argento. This was a complete, utter disaster of a film. Should not be made, should not be watched. I don't understand what...
Udo Kier's in it.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Udo Kier is in it. He dies. But I just don't understand what happened to Dario Argento. He made some of the best, most famous horror movies ever made, and then he just starts making stuff like this, and it's just like, what is going on here? Like, when you watch it, it doesn't even feel like it's his movie, other than the fact that his daughter is in it, which is another thing. To me, it's really odd that you would cast your daughter in the main role and then have pointless scenes of nudity with her in it. Like, that just seems kind of creepy to me.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Like, he's directing nude scenes with his... I don't know. I just find that to be odd. And they were pointless. Like, they didn't have to show her naked body. But anyway, this is the third one. This is the last one. The first one was Suspiria, which was amazing. The second one was Inferno, which was also really good. And I did watch that this week as well, but it turned out I already saw it. And I don't know if has this ever happened to you where you put in a movie and you start watching it and then you realize that you've seen it before?
Yeah, I just did that.
What was that movie?
I
remember talking about it.
Mario Bava?
Mario Bava?
Yeah. Oh, what was that movie? What was it? God damn it. Black Sunday.
Oh,
Black Sunday. Yeah. The same exact thing happened to me. About 40 minutes in, I was like, I saw this before.
Well, see, the thing that was frustrating me about Inferno was as I was watching it, I still couldn't remember what happened. Like, I didn't remember anything. I was remembering it as I was watching it. And that was what was really frustrating me because I couldn't turn it off. I had to keep watching it. But at the same time, it felt really familiar. And I was like, oh, I saw this. I know. Like, I would remember what happens a minute in the future. But I couldn't remember how the movie ended or anything like that. So I ended up watching the whole thing. But anyway, Inferno was really good, too. Definitely one of Argento's more visual movies. But Mother of Tears, horrible. Do not. Just watch the first two, please.
Whoa.
There's this terrible CG in it. The acting is horrible. I like Asia Argento, or I should say I want to like her. But she is the worst actress ever.
Wow.
That's a little strong. She's not the worst ever.
Wow.
She's not that good. I mean, I've seen her in good stuff. Maybe it just depends on the role. And I don't know if you've seen trailers for Argento's new Dracula movie, but it looks so bad.
Yeah, he needs to stop.
He needs to retire. That's all there is. That's all there is to it. Now, I love Italian horror. I think it's great, but
he needs to stop.
And then finally, I saw Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior.
Oh.
I've never seen Mad Max 2 the whole way through. I remember catching it. Remember how, like, on Fox, they used to have movies on Sunday afternoons? And I remember they would play Mad Max a lot, but it would be, like, really edited and be filled with commercials and stuff. So I saw the original Mad Max, and I liked it a lot, but the problem is there's so many movies that ripped this movie off that when you watch it, you're just like, yeah, I've seen all this before.
Yeah.
And I think it sucks, and it's really detrimental to the original film. So I wish that I could see this when it came out a year before I was born, and maybe I would get more enjoyment out of it. But it's still a solid movie. There's still a lot of really great action. I liked it better than the first one. And I'm going to watch the third one this week just to finish out the trilogy. That's the one with Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome.
I think they progressively... Tina Turner's in it.
Tina Turner.
They progressively get crazier. Like, the first Mad Max pretty much just takes place on the road with relatively normal-looking people in a relatively normal world. But part 2's that's when they start getting real crazy, wearing the, like, weird BDSM costumes and riding around the crazy-looking dune buggies and shit. And then I think the Thunderdome one's when it gets really wild.
Well, and anytime you add a Thunderdome,
right,
shit is over the top.
Yeah, I mean, you put in a Thunderdome, it's no holds barred.
It's good. Yeah, stuff's going to get out of hand.
Yeah. So that's what I saw. Big week. A little long-winded. I apologize.
I also like the time review on Mad Max 2. Apocalypse. Pow! Exhilarating entertainment. That's great.
It's good, though. I do recommend it.
Good work, time.
One thing that I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but the thing that I always find interesting is the fact that Mel Gibson used to have an Australian accent, and now he doesn't. It's completely gone now.
He got rid of that. He buried
but
it.
I guess he wasn't born in Australia. He was, I guess, born in the States, and then he moved there when he was 12. So he got the accent, and then he lost the accent.
Got it. Picked it up in his time in Australia, and then ditched it. So what did I watch? Let's see here. Well, we already talked about Gimme the Loot and Robot and Frank. I saw Lincoln.
Finally saw the old Lincoln.
I finally forced myself to watch Lincoln, and I'm excited to say that I did not fall asleep.
No, I didn't either.
I got the whole way through this fucking just awfulness.
Sapfest.
Sapfest. I mean, okay. First off, let's get this out of the way. I'll name the good things, and then I'll get into tearing it apart. The performances were outstanding. I mean, they're ridiculous. Everyone did an outstanding job. Now, the odd thing is I don't know if this is because I know Tommy Lee Jones is nominated for his performance, so maybe I was judging him or critiquing him a little bit more than everyone else. But I thought that he was the weakest out of everyone.
I thought JGL was the weakest.
Well, JGL, I don't, because I don't think he even exists in this movie.
It was
There's no
pointless
reason.
role. It really was.
There's no reason for him to be there, and he looks ridiculous with a mustache. So I don't even consider him as a part of the Lincoln movie, even though he is in there. I don't know why they decided to do that.
Then I'm going to say the second worst was Sally Field.
Sally Field.
I just couldn't, dude.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get past it. She just drove me crazy. I know that partly due to the character, but
Yeah, which
it was just so overacted.
That's to give you a sense of what Lincoln had to go through. That's the behind the scenes stuff, man. I mean, he's working so hard on the 13th Amendment, and damn, he's got to put up with that.
Dang woman.
In his off time.
Oh God.
But yeah, everything else, the way the movie started was just the most ridiculous thing ever. It was fucking unbelievable that that's the way he chose to start this movie. With, the soldiers coming up and reciting the Gettysburg Address to him. Are you fucking kidding me?
I knew you were going to love that part.
Oh my God. So that happens right off the bat. And I'm thinking, this is perfect. This is going to be great. But I do have to say, when he sort of, reins himself in and doesn't add all that bullshit. And when there's just them trying to pass the 13th Amendment and all their wheelings and dealings, it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that whole section. Every so often they would fuck it up by, Mary Todd Lincoln's there or JGL pops up for a little bit and it would ruin it. But all that stuff was great. And I loved all the characters, Spader, John Hawkes, everyone that was.
That little group. I love that.
It was fantastic. Loved it. And then you had to end it the way you ended it.
Yep.
It's just, oh my God. Completely ridiculous. There's not even words for it. But when the candle flame, I just started laughing. I lost it. It was,
and you knew it was coming too.
I knew it was coming too, but my God, I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like I had it in my head what it was going to look like, and it was terrible.
It's like something from Tim and Eric.
Yes, it was so unbelievably bad, and the whole him leaving the White House to go to Ford's Theater was ridiculous as well, because they had all the characters pretty much yep, he's going to die. He's going to die right now. Just the way that they sort of set him off, like they knew he was going to be shot, and they're just all solemn. Just, oh my God.
And how they tricked you at the end where you thought that you were at the...
Yeah. Oh man.
What? Spielberg pulling a fast one.
Oh man.
Classic Spielberg. Pulling out the rug.
Yeah, and it was just to get your, another patented heartstrings move by Spielberg to give you the kid's reaction, the youngest child's, so he could scream out and hold on to the banister.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
I think that I agree with you 100% on everything that you just said about that.
It's one of those things. It's tough to say, because half of the film I highly recommend, and I think it's amazing. And then little stuff that he adds are just terrible.
Yeah, I will reiterate that all the stuff in the Senate, all the arguments and everything that happens in there is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, the only thing, and Spielberg fucks it up a little bit at the end too. Where they cut to so many different people writing down how many votes are left.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. And the way that the people were voting, where the one was it the guy from A Serious Man? Mm-hmm. You couldn't hear him the first time he said it.
Yeah, and yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and then Jesus, it's just really. It is. And there was the one Gale. Like, he's been for this his entire life, but he's going to make this, like, long dramatic pause before he votes on it. You know exactly how he's going to vote on a damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that it's still an interesting story to see how the 13th Amendment was passed. So, I mean, I'd still probably recommend it to people.
Yeah,
but
I would still recommend it as well.
it just
Because the other stuff's going to make you laugh, at least.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It does have many shortcomings.
Spielberg. And then I watched Diabolique, the classic from 1955, which is, I think, probably like in the pantheon of just absolute classic horror thriller type movies.
I believe so.
I think it suffices to say, it came out before a lot of the other ones did. And there's not much special here. There's not like amazing camera work or great writing, but it was still thoroughly enjoyable. The ending is what does it for me. Just the whole ending sequence, the way that it plays out, just the tension that he builds up throughout the entire movie, and then just ramps it up even more, and then it culminates with the ending. It's just fantastic. I would highly recommend that. That is, I think, it's a classic that has to be seen. And then I followed that up with To Rome with Love.
Ugh.
What the hell happened here?
Mess.
What the hell happened here?
Complete mess. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
It was just, yeah. Complete Messes just nails it. What is there, like four storylines?
Mm-hmm.
2 of them are just god-awful and shouldn't exist ever. And then the other 2 have some good ideas, but he doesn't really like flesh them out at all. Yep,
doesn't go anywhere with them.
Doesn't go anywhere.
I love the Roberto Benigni.
Yeah, that whole idea. I mean, my
awesome.
God, take that idea, work with it for a while, flesh it out completely, develop the characters, and you got yourself an awesome movie, more than likely. But instead, he's like, let me just throw it in with these 3 other storylines I got going on, and just make everything terrible. So if that's what he was going for, I guess he was successful.
I didn't find it to be funny. It was a nothing of a movie to me.
I mean, there was a couple things that elicited like a, like the opera singer in the shower. Like when they wheel out the shower, I'm like, haha, I see. And then they kept doing it, and you're like, okay.
We get it. He can only sing in the shower. I get it.
That's like a passing thought. That's just something that you sort of think of and you go like, nah, that's not a good idea for a movie. Yeah. It's a funny idea, but it's not going to work. So I would not recommend that unless you like terrible things. And then last night I watched The Invisible War.
Speaking of terrible things, not the movie, the subject matter.
The movie's unbelievable, and I have to say, I love the fact that Kirby Dick didn't really interject. Just let everything speak for itself, let all the people speak for themselves, not throwing in his thoughts or anything at all. Just bare bones, here's all the information. Here's what these people went through and what they had to deal with. And so I'm angry. I don't even know what to say. I'm just so pissed off.
Yeah,
I hate everything.
It is pretty insane. It is just another must-see documentary, I think. Yeah. And this is one of these great documentaries that actually raises awareness and evokes some change in the system.
Yes.
So I think that's great.
And I just lost it when they were, and I've read this stuff before, but rape is an occupational hazard.
Yeah.
When they put that little blur, oh my God. Like as soon as that came up, it was just pause. I have to smoke. I can't. I had to go have a cigarette. I got to go outside. I got to cool off. There were so many points that I just wanted to like throw something at my TV, but I had to tell myself it's not the TV's fault. Okay, don't ruin your TV. But good Lord, it's tough to watch, but it's definitely one of those things that you have to see.
This is my Oscar pick.
Yeah, I would give it to this. Definitely.
I just think that I hope that if it does win an Oscar, it will raise some more awareness and more people will check this out.
The other thing I had to mention is the Navy guy. I think his name was like Kurta. That was his last name. I don't know what his title was, but he's one of the very few people in this movie that are sort of trying to defend the military, and you could tell that he was lying out of his ass because that guy blinked I don't know how many times.
Yeah,
just blinking like crazy. He's so damn nervous. And he was like the first one to pop up to like try and defend the things that happen. And it's like, no one can take you seriously at all. Everything you're saying is a lie.
Yeah. Invisible War, if you haven't checked that out, I think that it's available to rent at this point.
I think it's actually play instantly on Netflix. If you have Netflix.
Actually, I think you're right. It is. So please check that out. It's a must-see. You got to see this.
Yeah, and I have to say, Kirby Dick's slowly becoming.
I always liked. I've seen all his movies, I think, and I like pretty much everything. The one that he did, I think it was one of his first documentaries called "Sick." I didn't like that one, but just because it was extremely graphic and really hard to watch.
Yeah,
I did not like that one. All right. I think we can go ahead and move on. I think we'll save our Kickstarter highlight until later on in the show because we do want to play that interview. So I think that we'll just quickly go over some news. Big news.
What's that?
The big news.
What's that?
I think J.J. Abrams. Star Wars? What?
Oh my goodness. Now,
I
just got into Star Wars, so pretty excited, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I
have no idea how I feel.
Do you like J.J. Abrams?
I don't know if I like J.J. Abrams. I don't even know anything about J.J. Abrams, really, to be honest.
You liked Super 8, didn't you? I
enjoyed Super 8 for the most part. I mean, technically speaking, I didn't, but the child in me enjoyed it. I hated the ending. It was a shitty ending.
No, I wasn't a big fan of the ending either, but I see that it wasn't enough for me to not like the movie.
No,
just because.
But it was a great feel to it. I loved the beginning of the film. Now, but looking at his other stuff, no, I'm not a huge fan of J.J. Abrams.
Have you seen any of his other stuff?
I'm looking at that he did Alias, right? Is that his show?
Yeah.
He was a part of Lost for a little bit, right? Or was he like the runner?
Lost? He produced it, I think. Created it.
I fucking hate Lost.
I can't even say anything about it. I've never watched it. I watched like the first 2 episodes.
I've tried to watch it on numerous occasions. I just can't get into it. I just think it's awful. But I don't know. I think it's probably a good idea. I mean, he turned around Star Trek, it seemed like.
Have you seen? I think that should be one of your goals for the new Star Trek. I think you should watch. I think you should watch it.
That's another thing I've never been into.
No, I don't mean like the original Star Treks. I think you should just watch the first one in preparation for the new one coming out.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think that you will like it. Even though I know that you're not much for the big blockbuster action stuff, I think that I think you'll appreciate it. It's pretty awesome.
So what are your thoughts, Star Wars?
Okay, so...
Because you're a bigger Star Wars fan.
I guess I'm a bigger Star Wars fan. I mean...
I'm a newbie.
I've become fairly disenchanted with the series over the years, but I think
you're the first to say that.
I think that it's a good idea. I mean, like, who else? Who else would do it?
I was hoping they would get Bellatar. That's what I was going for. That's what I was hoping for. Twirling Horse? You kidding me? That'd be awesome. Doing Star Wars?
That would be funny. Harmony Korine's Star Wars Episode 7.
Fucking love it. That'd be amazing. You kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know. I read that they were going to be doing another... They were thinking about doing another Star Wars that was kind of like not in the normal trilogy, but sort of like a side story offshoot that was going to be based on more resembling a Kurosawa movie and stuff like that. I'm down with all that too. The way I look at it is it can't get any worse. So bring it on,
That's true. I mean, I didn't see the newer 3.
Trust me, it can't get any worse.
I didn't even get to Return of the Jedi yet because I fucked up and forgot to update my Netflix queue. So I ended up getting some shit movie.
Well, anyway,
from what I heard from everyone is I'm supposed to watch the first 3 just because they're terrible.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to watch them.
I don't want to watch them, but I'm curious now because everyone says they're so terrible.
See, the thing is, you don't have to, because you can watch just 4, 5, and 6, and then when 7 comes out, the J.J. Abrams, you can just watch that, and then that's going to take place after Jedi. So
yeah. I don't need.
The truth is, you don't need to see the prequels. They don't add anything to the story that you don't already know. So it's almost pointless to watch the 3 of it.
I think I already decided that I'm not going to watch.
If they were good, yeah, I mean, go ahead. But they're not. So don't even bother.
I've heard that they're not good.
Oh, they're horrible.
I'd like to know if there's anyone out there that's obsessed with the new ones and think
probably
that they're better than the old ones.
Oh no, I don't know about that, but
I would like to meet that person.
I mean, there might be some young kids, little kids.
What do young kids know?
Well, nothing, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I think Abrams is a good choice. I think he's one of the hottest directors in Hollywood right now, and I think that he'll do a good job. The only question that everybody has is how's he going to juggle, the 2 Star franchises. But
I mean, come on. If Mark Duplass can do 57 projects a year, or actually 57 projects in 1 month, I'm pretty sure J.J. Abrams can handle 2 film franchises. All right.
Yeah, I have confidence. I have confidence in it. I think it'll be good. It'll be interesting to see. And I'll be very curious to see where they go with it. I feel slightly bad for him for even taking on the project because, I mean, it could make or break his career. I think he knows that.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. I am certainly open to new Star Wars movies.
I think I'm curious to see what he does. Because, like you said, make or break your career. Does he play it safe? And just essentially give everyone what they want, and not really try anything different? Or does he try and put his own stamp on it?
I think he'll put his own. I think we're going to see lens flares aplenty in the new Star Wars. I think he's going to put his own stamp on it, but it is a franchise that probably you don't get a whole lot of control as a director, creative.
I hope he replaces the white cuts with lens flare. I think that's an upgrade.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the white cuts are terrible.
That's a staple of Star Wars, though. But you got to think, when that came out in 1977, they weren't hokey. They were fine.
Well, they should still thought they were hokey. White cuts are terrible, always. I don't give a shit what year it is.
I didn't.
But that's the funny thing, though, is I didn't know about Star Wars. So in my head, I thought no respectable filmmaker would ever use a white cut. It's nah, they're just for PowerPoint. This is a joke. No one would use this in a film. And then I was surprised watching Star Wars and the first white cut happened. I was like, are you what?
I think they do.
People actually did this?
I think they do wipes in the Indiana Jones movies, too. It works pretty good. I don't mind it. Anyway, moving on. Some other news. The Sundance winners came out this weekend. Sundance Film Festival has finally ended, and we didn't get to go. So I honestly didn't look into the winners too much because I know that they're all movies that I'm not going to be able to see for the next 5 years because I didn't make it.
Yes.
But there were quite a few movies that screened there this year that I am interested in seeing. And if you want to see the full list, you can just go over to the site. Look at. I don't think we need to go over anything specifically. Did you want to go over any?
Not really. There's one thing, and that's one of the movies that I was slightly excited about was Mother of George, which is by the guy that did Restless City. And we talked about when I watched Restless City, the cinematographer that he works with does an amazing job. And Bradford Young, who does again for this movie, won the award for best cinematography. So I like that. That's got me excited.
He won for 2 movies, right? Because he has Mother of George and Saints.
Yes, he did both. So I'm excited for both of those movies. I think he does. His cinematography is amazing.
Yeah.
And then also I saw one of the winners, and you did too. Catnip.
Yes, I did.
That won the Short Film Audience Award presented by YouTube.
I liked that. I mean, it was a cute little thing.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect. The way he pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, I looked at it like a concept film.
He nailed it.
Yep.
Damn cats and their catnip.
It was funny. I don't know if those are still available, but if you haven't checked out the Sundance Shorts on YouTube, check it out.
Go.
The only other thing I wanted to mention real quick is the trailer for the new Coen Brothers film. Actually, 2 trailers that I'd like to mention. The new Coen Brothers film, Inside...
I didn't even get to watch this. I forgot that this exists.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm really bummed out with it. I saw it, and I was like, yeah, I gotta watch that. And I ended up doing other stuff. And I completely forgot about it.
Inside Llewellyn... How do you say it? Lewin?
Lewin Davis?
I want to say Llewellyn, but I know it's not. It's like Lewin.
Lewin. Say Lewin.
Looks good. I'm excited for it.
It's Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
Of course it looks good.
Coen Brothers. It's kind of about a struggling folk musician. Takes place in New York City in the 60s. Sign me up, please.
Yeah. I mean, the Coen Brothers to me are one of those directors that you just say, hey, there's a new Coen Brothers movie coming out. And I will respond with, yeah, I'm going to see that.
Yeah, of course. See anything that they do.
You don't have to tell me anything about it.
Yep.
Don't even care. I'll find out when I see it.
Either way, it looks great. John Goodman's in it, and I love John Goodman, so I think that it'll be pretty good. And that comes out... When does that come out?
February 8th.
February 8th, so that's... I'm sure
it's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
select cities.
We're not getting it.
Another movie that we're probably not going to get for a while is Michel Gondry's Mood Indigo. And I was really into this trailer as well. This hits France April 24th. So I don't know when it's going to come out in the US, but check that out if you're a Michel Gondry fan. It's more of a return to form for him. Have you seen this one?
Yes, I did see the trailer for this, and I'm thoroughly excited.
Yeah, I think it looks
great.
I think it looks great as well. That's really all I wanted to go over. Was there anything you wanted to... Anything else?
Nah, I think I'm all right.
Okay.
Not much more going on here.
Let's go ahead and get right into our Kickstarter project of the week. This week we're highlighting a short film, another short film. This is our second one.
Some of these short
films are just entirely too good to not talk about. Or at least they look good.
Yeah.
This week we're highlighting Arrival. This is a short film by Alex Myung. The thing that really drew me into this, and I mentioned it in the interview, is the animation. This is all hand-drawn 2D animation. Looks fantastic. So check this out. As of now, we are recording on Sunday. This, I believe, has 22 days left on the project? 23?
I think so.
And it's 18% funded so far, 3666 of 20,000. We had a chance to have a chat with the director, Alex Myung, so let's take a listen to that right now. Alex Myung, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for joining us. Why don't we get started by just telling the listeners who you are and maybe how you got your start in animation?
My name is Alex Myung, and I don't really know how I got my start in animation. I think when I was younger, I had always had a love for cartoons and like comic books and everything like that. And one day I remember I saw a poster for my school, School of Visual Arts, and it was in high school, and my teacher was like, they have a pretty good animation program, and I think that's something that you'd really be pretty good at. So I checked it out, and I fell in love with the school. It was either that or RISD, and I was like, you know what? SVA seems like the place for me, and it's been a match made in heaven ever since.
So, did you grow up in New York City?
I did not. I grew up in Albany, New York,
okay.
So it's like about 3 hours away. But I came to the city in 2005, so it's been like 7-8 years now.
Okay. Lucky. Someday I'll get there. So what were some of like the biggest influences you have with your animation? I mean, from like Miyazaki or any of your other big influences?
I would have to say, yeah, Miyazaki definitely was probably one of my first major influences growing up in terms of animation. Outside of like Disney, but all kids are kind of exposed to Disney at a young age. And then I remember I saw the film Perfect Blue by Satoshi Kon. And it's such an amazing film, and I probably saw it a little bit too early on. I don't think my parents exactly knew what the film was about when they let me buy it. And it was such an amazing, intense film, and I remember being like, oh my gosh, this is what animation can really be like. It can be so, intense and like overstimulating. And he's probably, and sadly he's passed away a couple years ago, but Satoshi Kon is probably one of my like favorite animation directors. Yeah.
Excellent. So let's get into your film, Arrival. Now, this is a short film that you're working on. This is on Kickstarter. And why don't you just tell us a little bit about this film, what it's about, and what you're looking to do with this film?
Arrival is basically about a young boy who grows up with his mother, and they live out in the countryside. And one day he decides that he's going to move to the big city, and he's going to pursue whatever dreams that he has. And him and his mother decide to communicate by sending pictures back and forth. And along the way, he realizes that he's gay, and he kind of struggles with the idea of coming out to his mother. And it's essentially from there, it's about how his struggle kind of makes him push everyone else away, because he has such a hard time deciding what he wants to do about the situation. And, then something really crazy happens, and he has to make some sort of decision rather than like constantly escaping and constantly running away from his problems. He's faced with actually having to make a decision in his life.
Now, one of the things that drew me to this project right from the start was the animation. I think that the animation looks incredible. And this is all 2D hand-drawn animation by yourself?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, this is all me. Paper or pencil to paper first, scanning it in, digitally inking and coloring it, and then compositing it through After Effects.
Yeah, it looks great. I will say that it looks incredible.
I love hand-drawn animation.
Yeah, Kevin. Kevin here is an artist, so
awesome.
He's really into that stuff as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a labor of love.
I was going to say, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I know how long it takes to do like a film and how much drawing there is.
Yeah.
Do you do anything else? It just seems like you would just have to draw forever.
Do you mean...
like, how much time does it take you to draw all this stuff?
It depends on how fast you are, and depends on what kind of a scene it is. I mean, like, some of the scenes, you know, if the characters are really small on the screen, you know, it can take like 2 seconds to do it. It can be really, really fast, but then, you know, like the close-ups where the animation, you need it to be slower, you know, it can take a good day or two to finish a scene if you work on it consistently and, you know, only breaking to eat and sleep. Maybe a little bit.
Because I watched the test animation for the hair flip.
Oh, yeah.
Which looks fantastic.
Thank you.
And I have to say, I love the lighting in it.
Thank you.
Just a nice, like, little added touch.
Yeah, I'm really big on really intense lighting. That's probably like one of the biggest things that draws me to any kind of animated film. I have so many animation art books, and the first thing that I look for is to make sure that there's backgrounds in there, because I really love just like really intense highs and lows. So you'll definitely see a lot of that kind of lighting in my film.
Well, that's good, because I think both Kevin and I are really into that as well.
Awesome.
It's the little added touches
Yeah.
that set it apart.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll like animate a film and I'll look at it and be like, oh god, this looks terrible. Like, what's wrong with this? And then, you know, like, I'll play around with the lighting a little bit. I'll add some shadows and some like large bursts somewhere, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it was missing. It was missing some actual lighting.
All right, so let's talk about the actual Kickstarter project. You're looking to get 20 grand for this film.
Yes.
And this is going to be a 10 to 15 minute short. Is that right?
Yeah. Right now it's clocking in at 15 minutes. But, you know, depending on if I have to make some edits at the end, you know, it could be a little bit shorter.
And one thing I like that you did with your Kickstarter is that you actually put in a graph, a pie chart.
You know, everybody that I had to preview it with just to like get feedback, they all mentioned that, and I could have sworn that I'd seen other people doing it, and when I think about it, I'm like, I guess nobody else has
very little
has been making graphs. I thought it was kind of like a standard.
No, but I think that that's good, because then the people that donate can actually see where this money's going. A lot of times with Kickstarter projects, it's like, oh, we want this much to make this movie, and it's like, okay, well,
what do you want it for?
Where's this money going? Because a lot of times, a lot of the Kickstarter projects are just to get like post-production funding and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, well, if the movie's already made, I just want to know exactly where this funding is going. Is it just going into your pocket? Is it going into like sound mixing? What's it going into? And I think that adding the pie chart is definitely a plus, so people can see what's going on.
Yeah, I remember I was showing it to one of my friends, and he literally, like, this was before I even had the pie chart. He was like, what do you need the $20,000 for? I was like, okay, I think I need to to spell it out a little bit better. He was like, that's a big amount of money. I was like, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I think people that know animation and know just how long and painstaking it is, I think that they'll understand.
Yeah, and you know what's sad is that $20,000 is actually like really, really low compared to what other people are asking for and what, you know, the actual rate of animation would be.
Oh yeah, especially because of the quality that we're looking at here with your film. I mean, this isn't just, you know, a flash animated thing here. This is like the real deal. I mean, this looks great. So why don't you go over some of the incentives that you're offering to people for donating?
Okay, well, some of the really awesome incentives, my favorite ones that I'm offering are I have a custom Viewmaster.
Yes.
I think it's when I had gotten the idea to do it, somebody had given me something like this for my birthday, and I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. I have to do this. And I found this website, and you can make all these custom Viewmasters, and you can put in your pictures and everything. So that's my all-time favorite reward that I have, and I actually decided that you could customize your order, and if you purchase one of the lower tiers that doesn't have the Viewmaster already in it, you can add it on for $35.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then
That is cool.
Yeah. And then I have an art book, The Art of Arrival, which will probably be a much smaller run since it is up at the $500 and $1,000 tiers. But I'm kind of excited to make that. I have some original keyframes for sale. I have a DVD, different wallpapers for your computer, posters, postcards, an HD downloadable version of the film. Unfortunately, the film, either of the film versions won't really be available until after like film festival entries and everything like that, because a lot of film festivals are kind of adamant about your film not really being available to the public before it's shown anywhere. So unfortunately, people that purchase those tiers will have to wait a little bit for the film, but I'm hoping that I'll have a ton of stuff to be able to give them in the meantime.
And I think that anybody that's donated to film projects on Kickstarter should be aware at this point that it does take quite a long time. Like,
yeah.
I'm getting movies and stuff that I donated to years ago. So, I mean, it's like...
That's great that you're even getting them.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true, too. But going back to the film festival thing, what are you looking at as far as film festivals? As like, which ones are you looking at?
Honestly, I mean, I would love to show at the larger film festivals. You know, like, it'd be great if I could show at Sundance or Annecy, Anime Mundi or Anima Mundi, any of the big ones I would love to be at. And, you know, my lofty goal is to maybe be considered for an Oscar, but, you know, we'll cross that bridge there.
I've seen a lot of the shorts that came out of Sundance this year, and I can tell you right now, it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, thank you.
It should not be a problem to get into. I think Sundance had a lot of shorts this year.
Oh, really?
They had a ton.
That has some great news.
Yeah, so I don't think that'll be an issue at all. Kevin, do you have any other questions before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so. But I did make the correlation. I didn't even think about it with the Viewmaster thing. You actually used that in the Juxtaposed short film. You sort of used that idea.
Yeah, that whole... I didn't even realize that until, you know, like a little while after I decided to even offer the Viewmaster either. And the reason that I honestly did it in Juxtaposed was just because, you know, time constraints. I couldn't have as much animation in it as I wanted to. At least the way that I was animating it, it was, you know, impossible for me to do it without, you know, going crazy. So I had to kind of cut back, and I was like, well, what's the best way that can have still images without making it look completely, you know, terrible? Mm-hmm. and I was actually, before I had finished the film, I was starting to work on sound, and I was like, oh, I found these really awesome kind of camera clicks that I heard in our sound effects library, and I was like, I think this is a perfect fit. So I kind of integrated it into the film.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it worked well. It worked well.
Thank you.
Coming up with creative ways to cut back on budget constraints and things like that, I always appreciate that in films.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a little, you know, like a little puzzle.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk with us, and good luck with the film.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys for, you know, making a write-up about the project.
Thanks again, Alex, for talking to us. If you want to donate, please click on the link that's in the show notes. You can also look at the widget on our site. It'll be on the side, and the article should still be on the homepage by the time you listen to this. If it's not, just hit the link at the top where it says Kickstart Sunday.
Get yourself a custom Viewmaster.
And get yourself a custom Viewmaster.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Come on.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our predictions.
Did I win?
You did, actually.
You're damn right.
You swept this week. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. You said 40, I said 42. Actual 15.
Wow.
That looks like a mess. We'll actually have a review for that up. Should be some...
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you, didn't you?
I didn't.
I'm surprised you didn't go.
No, I didn't go. Actually, one of our new contributors is submitting a review for that. So we should have it up by the time you're listening to this.
Who went to see Hansel and Gretel?
Alicia?
Alicia's not going to be working for us anymore.
We'll see. We'll see. See what happens.
Sorry to ruin your day.
Yeah, we have a new...
That's what Film Pulse does.
I wanted to mention that at the top of the show. We do have a new batch of young upstart writers that are coming in. So we'll see if it works out. We'll see how long they can stand us before
their
moving on.
Yeah, their lives just got worse. Sorry about that.
Then we have Parker. You said 37, I said 42. Actual 37, right on the money for you.
They're so predictable.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I could guess Statham movies.
And we do have
just
a review.
Nail it every time.
We do have a review for that up. Our new guy Austin gave that a 3 out of 10, so doesn't look too good for Parker. And then finally we have my favorite movie of the year, movie 43. You said 12, I said 18, actual 5.
Yes.
Sometimes it's funnier when it has like a 5 rather than a 0. So you could just say, oh, it has a 5.
It is, because to me, I'm wondering what that person thinks. Like if he goes on, he or she, and sees that everyone just completely destroyed it and hated it, and he or she is the one person out of everyone that enjoyed it. Like, I wonder what you think to yourself.
Well, honestly, I think that a lot of critics, or some critics, not a lot, but some like to go against the grain and and things that everybody, they just like to be the opposite.
There's also the critics that, they just lie and say that it's good.
That's actually...
when they know it's not.
Yeah, and that's actually a possibility too, so...
Oh, it definitely happens.
Next week we have Warm Bodies. What are you thinking on Warm Bodies?
Warm Bodies. I think it looks awful. I'm going to say like a 45.
I'm going to say 42 on Warm Bodies. I don't think it looks good either. Then we have Bullet to the Head, new Stallone. I'm thinking this also looks pretty awful, so I'm going to say 32.
I'm going to say like a 46.
And then we have Stand Up Guys. This is the one with Christopher Walken, Al Pacino, I think Alan Arkin as well.
Oh, Lord have mercy. There's so many bad movies coming out.
Yeah, I think this one looks pretty bad too. What do you think on this?
Like I said, I love the poster for it. I would say like the poster's like a 90%.
It does have a cool looking poster.
The actual movie, like a 34.
34? I'm going to say 48.
48. Fisher Stevens.
I don't think it's going to be good either, but yeah.
Fisher Stevens.
I also wanted to mention, I don't know if it's getting wide release or not, but
It's coming out.
It's A Haunting in Connecticut 2,
What?
Ghosts of Georgia. Now let's just think about that title. Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghosts of Georgia.
Is there a character named Georgia? It's the only thing I can think of.
No, I guarantee you it takes place in Georgia.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, it says here, moves his wife and daughter, Heidi, to a historic home in Georgia.
What? But I don't understand at all. That's terrible.
Why wouldn't they just call it The Haunting in Georgia?
Yeah, just give it I mean, do you honestly think you're going to make this into like a franchise?
It's ridiculous. I'm sure.
The guy that directed this apparently was a part of Vision Quest. Do you remember Vision Quest from 1985 with Matthew Modine?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you do. How could you forget Vision Quest?
That's how you have to say it, though. Vision Quest.
You're damn right.
Vision Quest.
Vision Quest.
That pretty much does it for predictions. Let's go over some DVD and Blu Ray releases. This is for Tuesday, January 29th, 2013. got a bunch of not so great stuff coming out. A couple good ones.
This is a terrible time for movies.
I would say one good one next week. We have The Awakening, which I did not like at all. We have Hotel Transylvania, which I haven't seen, but not thinking it's going to be that great. Paranormal Activity 4, which we both despised. And Seven Psychopaths, one that we both really liked.
Yeah, I'd definitely check that one out.
So, yeah, this is a pretty, awful time. At least, we have a lot of festivals coming up, so.
It is terrible.
I think that's why they have festivals during this time, so people can be like, okay, well, there's nothing in the theater. At least I can go to this festival.
Yeah.
And see some good stuff. Well, I think that wraps it up. For all the latest film news and reviews, visit us at filmpulse.net. We want to hear your feedback. Send us an email at feedback@filmpulse.net or call our voicemail line at 850-391-6071. Also, please take a minute to rate us on iTunes. We appreciate that very much. For filmpulse.net, my name is Adam.
And I'm Kevin.
And we will see you on Wednesday for Ryan Watches a Movie when we have him watch Auto or Up with Dead People.
We're
really hoping this wins. Wins?
Wins.
I hate not being able to say.
We're terrible at everything.
I just
love it. Love it.
All that shit's getting cut.
All of it. Cut all that shit.